Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, May 28th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We opened today with WWE Night of Champions, streamed yesterday on Peacock and the WWE Network, live from the Jeddah Superdome in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The event saw the crowning of a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, with Seth Rollins defeating AJ Styles, pinning him after a curb stomp in 20 minutes and 40 seconds to claim the newly reinstated world title, which had been dormant since being unified with the WWE Championship 10 years ago. After the match, Rollins was presented with the brand new belt by Triple H.
As Triple H, the man who announced the creation of the new World Heavyweight Championship, and has had a long history with Seth Rollins since the days that Rollins became the inaugural NXT champion, is here tonight to accept the brand new world title from the Hall of Famer. Seth Rollins is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
The win makes Rollins a 5-time world champion, following 2 reigns as Universal Champion, 2 reigns as WWE Champion, and 1 reign as Ring of Honor World Champion. He had not been a world champion since losing the Universal title to The Fiend in October 2019 at Crown Jewel, also held in Saudi Arabia. In the final match of the evening, WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline were unsuccessful in taking the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Zayn pinning Sikoa at 26 minutes and 25 seconds. The finish occurred after outside interference from the Usos backfired, leading to the Usos accidentally laying out Sikoa. Jimmy and Jey Uso were then confronted by Reigns, leading to Jimmy turning on Reigns, super kicking him twice, and leaving the ring with his seemingly reluctant brother Jay.
There ain't no day one no more, you understand me? Get out of my ring!
Oh no! Jimmy just super kicked Roman! Jimmy, what did you do?
Long time ago. I got to.
Oh my God.
Come on.
The match was notable for being the first appearance for Zayn in Saudi Arabia since WWE began doing business with the kingdom 5 years ago. Zayn, who is of Syrian descent, had been denied entry into Saudi Arabia for geopolitical reasons, but was warmly welcomed by the crowd yesterday and even addressed them in Arabic before the match. In the other of what was billed as the 3 main events of Night of Champions, Brock Lesnar won his rematch with Cody Rhodes when the referee called for the bell at 9 minutes and 40 seconds, determining that Rhodes had passed out while in Lesnar's Kimura armlock. Rhodes had been selling a worked broken arm throughout the match. In the days-only title change, Asuka beat Bianca Belair in exactly 15 minutes to regain the Raw Women's Championship. The win makes Asuka a 3-time Raw champion and a 4-time Women's Champion in WWE, including her reign as SmackDown champion. It also ends Belair's 420-day reign as Raw Women's Champ, the longest women's world title reign in WWE in 16 years. In other Night of Champions results, Gunther successfully defended the Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali. SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley retained against Natalya, pinning her in just 70 seconds. And in her first singles match in 4 years, Trish Stratus pinned Becky Lynch, thanks in part to outside interference from Zoe Stark. Universal Champion Roman Reigns passed the milestone of 1,000 consecutive days with the title yesterday, making him only the 4th world champion in WWE history to do so, after Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales, Bob Backlund, and Hulk Hogan. Reigns took the Universal title from The Fiend in a triple threat match, also including Braun Strowman at WWE Payback in Orlando, Florida on August 30th, 2020, He hasn't lost a match by pinfall or submission since December 15th, 2019. Reigns' current stretch as champion is on track to surpass Pedro Morales' 1971 to 1973 world title reign of 1,027 days on June 24th, which would make it the fifth longest world title reign in WWE history. In news from Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors tournament came to an end on Sunday, with Master Wato winning the 30th annual event. Inside Ota City General Gymnasium in Tokyo, Wato pinned Titan utilizing his recent Mente finisher. Titan was the second luchador to ever make a Super Juniors final, with the first being Dr. Wagner Jr. in 1998, who fell to Koji Kanemoto in the final. Titan was the second luchador to ever make a Super Juniors final, with the first being Dr. Wagner Jr. in 1998, who fell to Koji Kanemoto. Current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi had won 3 consecutive tournaments leading into this year, and 4 of the last 5. 3 titles changed hands at yesterday's Flashing Champions 2023 show from Stardom, also held at the Ota Ward General Gymnasium in Tokyo, including the Wonder of Stardom Championship, which was won for Mina Shirakawa by World of Stardom champion Tam Nakano in a title versus title match. It was later announced that Nakano will defend the World of Stardom title against Mirai on July 2nd at the Yokohama Budokan. Also on the show, the Donna Del Mondo's stable of the Bari Bari Bombers, Thekla, Mai Sakurai, and Julia beat Restart's Natsupoi Sayoriano and Kairi to win the Artist of Stardom 6-woman tag team title, and Saki Kashima won the high-speed title in a 3-way match with Fukigen Death and previous champion Azumi. In Impact Wrestling news, former Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace is done with the company, according to a report from Fightful Select. Grace's contract with Impact has reportedly expired, and she is not scheduled to work today's TV tapings. Grace lost the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo at last weekend's Under Siege pay-per-view, with the match stipulation stating she would no longer be able to challenge Purrazzo for the title. According to Fightful, Impact was interested in keeping her, and there is also strong interest in her from other companies, but Grace is opting to take some time away from wrestling to pursue other ventures, including powerlifting and her content-sharing pay site, although she does plan to return at some point. In ratings news, the overnight ratings for last Friday's SmackDown came in, showing a total Fox audience for the episode of 2.027 million, down from the previous week's overnight audience figure of 2.049 million, according to Spoiler TV. The overnight rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.46, down from the previous weeks as well. Full ratings figures for SmackDown are expected later in the week. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.